Maybe like
All right, looks like we are rolling live. Good evening, Facebook. We are Frantic Romantic. We're here with Hanging with the Friends, episode number 8. Tonight we have our special guest, José Ángel Rincón Rodríguez. He produces in Tijuana I Rock, Friday Night Border Crossing. He is all about the scene in Tijuana, the music, what's going down, what's going on, what to do, where to check out your favorite bands, and what they're up to. Awesome stuff. Cool. So we're still waiting on him to get on here with us a bit. So we're just going to kind of start talking a little bit.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
I was telling Mike it's just like Groundhog Day now.
Right. Every day is the same, basically, right?
Right.
I think
it's like a Nine Inch Nails song, you know?
Yeah, well, that's a great song too.
I think everybody will agree that 2020 is maybe the worst year in our lifetimes, right?
I
But
would
hey, we're
say,
making the best of it.
Hey, here we go. I would say 2020 is the worst year so far.
So far, right.
Yeah.
2021's like hold my beer, you know?
Right,
yeah.
exactly. Because that's what happens every year, right? You're
Right.
Oh my God, 2018. 2019 is worse, and then
I remember when like 2015, I'm like, man, this is a bad year. Robin Williams, he commits suicide. This is an awful year. And then now it's like, that's still, definitely a tragedy, but like,
Right.
compared to this.
But one compared to 100,000 is a little different.
Hello.
It's a little different. Hey, Jose, how you doing?
Hello, how are you? Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing, buddy?
Here a little bit with issues trying to enter the room, but I'm here now. Thank God.
Not a problem.
Technology for you, right? Technology's always
Yeah.
It's all
Got
good.
a little bit stuck, but nothing to be worried about.
No problem. We kept the audience ready for you. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's good. Thank you very much. Very happy to be here with you guys. Really.
Oh, we're happy to have you on.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're very excited. I know I was telling the guys that every time we've had a chance to talk, you always have like a plethora of knowledge when it comes to the music scene, who to talk to, the who's who, everything. You've been doing this for a real long time. Do you mind kind of just...
Yeah, I'm trying to get the best slide. Okay, well, my name is José Ángel. I'm from Tijuana. I have been here in this scene for 25 years. 1994 is when I started my first fanzine. And I had some projects like that around from 94 to 97. And then around 97 till 2000, it's when I started to write for other projects here in Tijuana. And also it's when I started to do stuff in LA and San Diego.
Oh, cool.
With La Banda Elástica, Retila, and Al Borde magazines that were covering the Latino scene. But at the same time, I was working on starting to work in some of the projects that entering the internet and entering another phase. I think around 1999 or 2000, I think that I had already got everything that I wanted out of the music scene. But I know that I needed to do something more. And thank God I always have been in love with radio. I have been always a big fan of music. Two things in life that I'm a huge fan: wrestling and music.
Wrestling,
nice.
All right.
I know someone like that.
I know, you and I, there we go. Yeah.
And also I'm a big fan of information, of trying to compile information and investigating and trying to get the information about everything that I read, try to learn about the story about what I'm working on. And around 2003 is when I started to do radio, web radio. I was at the School of Broadcasting, and since then, I started to being in like 2 or 3 places out there doing my show. And around 2006, 2007, I started podcasting. And I have never left the format. I got practically in love with podcasting. I love the format. I'm very free with it. I can do whatever I want with my shows. The thing is that the way that I apply the podcasting is not like doing the the format that we all know about the talk radio or talking with someone or stories or things like that. What I tried to do, and I wanted to do it always, it was like I just wanted to do my radio show. That's it. That's what I wanted to do. So
Yeah.
I use the format in that way, trying to get new music, try that the people hear what's going on in other places and here in Tijuana. And I was talking today with someone who told me, this show that you have really has helped me to understand that there's a lot of good stuff out there, a lot of good music out there that I will not be able to take the time and do a search of that music. And that is a thing that I really like because that is a result that I always have been expecting. That you listen to music, listen to the show, forget about that I'm talking in the show, that I am the MC, but I want you to listen to music. I want to listen what's going on around here. I want you to listen what's happening in other places. And that has brought me to other projects that go about the history of music in Tijuana. There's one project that is called Presente, Tijuana Rock and Roll, that I have been developing since
Yeah.
2010. And I have been working on a very big part of the history of Tijuana's music. And
Well-
if I don't know if you went there, so sorry, just to finish my thought.
Sure.
I don't know, Ruben, if you went to the Friday Night Border Crossing blog. Basically,
I did. Yeah.
Basically, it's a translation of what I had been working all these
In
years.
Spanish. Right,
Oh,
right.
wow.
That's actually where I found out more about Linda Allen. I first saw
Yeah.
Linda Allen, who's a good friend of ours now.
Yeah,
I first saw her in an interview with Carlos El Topo when he did one of the, I think it was either in Tijuana Arte or Festiarte some years ago.
Festiarte.
Just interviews. Those
Festiarte.
Festiarte interviews.
Yeah.
I saw you put out something on her, and that's when I started learning about her. And, eventually her and I and us became friends. But it's thanks to Friday Night Border Crossings.
Yeah, Linda is an amazing musician.
Oh, yeah.
People don't know
And
really
human
that,
being, yeah.
and a great human being. Yeah,
Yeah.
people really don't. They see her and they think that she's like this little girl, but no way. She
No.
has been around a decade, and she's a total package. She's a producer. She does
Right.
her own stuff. She prepares everything. She's a total package for music. And like I have said before,
Right.
I think she can be the future of Latin pop music, as
think so,
others
too.
are. But in the way that she is so compelling in that she unifies everything that you see in music. She's the future of this stuff of Latin music. Really,
I
believe
agree.
that.
Yeah, she's an actress too. On top of
Yes.
that,
Yes.
that's total package completely, like
Ah.
you said.
If I'm not wrong, I think that you have already got in touch with Dinora Zamora.
Dinora
Today
Zamora.
I think that today saw something that you were in contact with her. She's another one that, oh my God, she's great.
Yeah.
She even has gone far to learn producing, so no one can have input in what she's recording. She's an amazing singer, and she's another amazing artist. And there are a lot of people like them, Omar Vox. No, the list goes on and on in Tijuana.
Yeah.
That have been taking the Junipero guys, and
Oh,
and-
yeah.
they have been
Amazing,
taking
right?
the same
Yeah.
approach. Yeah, that's one of the good things that we have around here. That since Tijuana is a city that is not like a Mexican town, but it's not like an American town. It's like
It's a mix,
its own,
right?
Yes, it's a mix, and it's its own world.
Right. It is. It
You
is.
have the best of both
Uh-huh.
sides,
Mhm.
but it's its own creative hub.
It's
Oh,
like an
creative hub,
amalgamation. It's an amalgamation of both, like you said. There's a lot of outlets. The arts are very appreciated.
Yes.
That's one of the main reasons why I fell in love with Tijuana. I've been going there
Bless you.
for
Thank
over
you.
like a decade now, and it was a big dream of mine to want to get into that music scene because it's just so
Yes.
rich, and we're so
Yeah.
lucky that now we've been able to.
And the good thing about the city, there are things, like everywhere. No, I don't know how it's out there in San Jose, but Tijuana, the thing with Tijuana is it has the musicians, it has the creativity, but always it has been living on potential because we are not like entrenched in the music industry as a whole. There are musicians here that they say, "Hey, I'm a professional because I have great equipment and I have learned how to play." But the thing is, do you know the basics about moving in an industry? You really know the basics of the business side?
Right, navigating in the
Yes.
business. Right,
The thing
right.
that's the thing. That is why it's a cool place, but always it has been like that potential is there, but sometimes it's its own worst enemy, and and
Right.
and it is keep there. But the talent, the projects, the people, the minds, to do the work, they are there. There's no denying of that.
Yeah.
I don't know in the case of as far as I know, I understand that the band or some members of the band come from the entertainment industry and in a more complete way than just the music. I know if I'm wrong with that. I don't know if I'm wrong with
Well,
that.
that you correct. Yes,
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way that you see things, the way you try to develop your concept, your brand, that is the most important thing
Right.
for a
Uh-huh.
musician and for anyone that is on any kind of entertainment. mm, you have very clear what you want, and you go through every step that is needed to go, and everything that is needed to be done in all the things around you, the legal stuff, the
Yeah.
the concept, the way you handle your business, your dealings with bookers, you're dealing with promoters. It's not that you're gonna get paid with beers. No, that's not gonna be happening there.
Yeah.
But here is still is happening, and I have my share of blame. I'm not denying that. I have worked with promoters and as a semi promoter and mostly as booking the shows mostly, and I understand that, and there are things that we have to be able to work and get into a better place, but
Mhm.
I think that we can we I think that the basics are there. We only need like to be more profound about them. We work more on that stuff,
It's like when
on
you're
the
building.
real stuff.
It's like when you're
Yes.
building a house. The foundation's there. The bones are good. Right. You already have the blueprints.
Yes.
It's about executing now. You need an
Yes.
architect to come in and just say, "Hey, let's go. Let's go about every other aspect." You know.
The thing is that I'm not putting no one under the bus. That's not the idea.
No.
But
No. 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 Yeah.
what is happening is that so many times, hey, do you want to come to a round table? We're going to talk about the scene and what's happening.
Uh,
Okay, no problem. And I go, and what happens, and I repeat, is not trying to bury someone.
No.
No, the bury, not the burying. No, it's not
Yeah.
about that. And just you understand me, Ruben, what I'm trying to say with the burying,
I was gonna
the
say,
shovel, the
are you
shovel.
sure you're not in San Jose? Because that happens
No,
sometimes here too.
no.
You know.
But okay, what I'm trying to say, we
Yeah.
reunite, and the core of the talk is, yeah, the media doesn't get us. We need to unite. We need to do things better, and we have the potential. Well, just shut up and do something about it.
Right. Actions
That's
speak louder. Right. Yeah.
yes, actions speak louder than words. Yes.
Can I
Sorry.
chime in real quick? Back in, when I used to live in San Jose. I live in LA now, but back in 2013, what you're talking about actually did exist in San Jose. It was like it was a round table of people that got together and they kind of just scratched their heads about, well, what do we do? And I would keep going because I was really curious what would happen. But one of the things I noticed right away was it was a very specific group of people that were kind of like a clique, like a popularity club.
I get it. Yeah,
Right.
I get it.
And then I was like, yeah, okay, I'm out. Yeah, it was.
You know,
Yeah.
same thing happened with me. I went a couple years later to something that I had a lot of hope, because I've been playing in San Jose my whole life, from the 90s, from like 93 is when I started playing. And it was maybe about 2014, 15. And it's the same thing. Like, it was like 3 or 4 or 5 people that would only talk in the meeting. You'd try to talk, everybody would cut you off. And it was the same issues. And it was just, I was like, okay, I have a better way to spend my Saturdays than this,
And I went into the last one around 2018.
Yeah.
And I heard the same thing. And also, and what have been like the obstacles that you have found? Oh, we started there. Oh, the damn government. You tried to do shows with them, and they shoved you up there at our asses. And we started again. They have never helped those bastards. Like in that tone.
Yeah.
And someone stand up and when one of the brother of a girl that was there. Why are you all so negative? Don't you have like cool stories or something? But it's the education that we had, no? And after that, like 2 months later, I made a Facebook post and I'm retired from that kind of stuff. If we're not gonna do nothing and I'm gonna be like driving myself under the bus, I'm not gonna go to another one. And since then I don't go to talks, I don't do nothing, I don't do media, I don't do nothing because it's gonna, and then there was a press conference. I went as media. It was a local one with good dear friends of mine. And it was our band and we're gonna do this concert and we're very happy and then a reporter and what do you think about the local scene? Well, actually, we will love that the media will come to this and have more attention in Unite, and we should have been like Monterrey was in the past. Monterrey in the 90s became a very big hotbed with Plastilina Mosh, who were very famous in the US, and Control Machete, and all those kind of bands, because it was the work of a generation that had been working, and they got and since Monterrey is a little bit near Mexico City, someone from a record company say, hey, look at these guys, hey, come on. And they were the same rebel way to see things, but they were more in the inside. They were going to the shows, and the Tijuana bands where they went in the same time, they went more to Mexico City as special attractions. And look at, oh God, Tijuana is cool. But they were looked at the time as a special attraction bands. They had following, they had followers, they did some cool stuff. But the thing is that since the difference of since it's a little bit farther, it was very more difficult for them to go and try to stay around a year in Mexico City. If you go down there, there have been people that have gone down there, and after knowing how difficult it is to like enter that door, they decide to live there. They decide to stay. And
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what's happening with some of the musicians from Tijuana that are right now at the very like the top of the mountain. We can say that the majority of them, no, I'm not going back. I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to develop my career and my talent where the industry is, and it's a good way. It's good. It's fine. No problem with that.
That's kind of like how they're becoming like the journeyman, right? Like over
Yes.
here, when you're doing a career, that's the next step. That's what you need to do, and sort of like that's where the calling is. So you need to follow that. That's great.
Yes.
I could see how that's not for everybody, though. How it could be difficult with having something that's not for sure. Like you definitely still need to put a lot of work in if you're going to go to a scene like Mexico City, right?
Yes. Yes.
And that's discouraging.
One of the very dear friend of mine, Omar Box, he went last year, and he stayed there. He did a good six months, near a year. And when he came back, he asked me, "Hey, can we meet? Yeah, let's talk." And I did an interview with him, and he started to tell me these stories about Mexico City. And I know people from there, and they're a little bit like, you're doing stuff, okay, nice, pretty, okay. And it's a very competitive competitive place, like a big city. You come from a smaller city, you come to the big city, and you feel the way they look at you, like, here comes someone that's going to take my place, that is not better than me. And it's not bad, but at the same time, it was very
It's competitive,
too much
right?
competitive,
Right.
and a lot of
Yeah.
work for him in trying to settle in. And he got to settle in a little bit, but the rent, the food, the expenses, all those kind of things really were like got him like very, very got very deep with him.
Mhm.
And at a certain point, when the year ended, he decided to come back and try to like to breathe air. And well, right now it would not happen, but sooner or later he will go back. And I think LA is the same thing. It's a very big scene, a lot of people trying to get that big contract, that big opportunity, that big show when the big wig is going to watch them and then going to take them, and you're going to be rich with me, son.
Joe
It's
Hollywood,
the same thing.
right? Yeah.
Joe Hollywood.
Joe Hollywood.
Well,
this case, down there,
José,
you're going to see, the pyramids.
I'm going to make you a star.
Yeah. Let me try and make you something great. I'm going to make something great out of you. But the thing is that that's only for a few, not for all.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I strive to make us the next Magneto, I do. Little joke there. Sorry. Yeah.
It could happen, eh? Don't give you ideas to someone out there, because it could happen.
We got the dance moves, right?
Yeah. So there could be someone that could be watching and said, hey, I take the chance. I don't care. I need a boy band.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Right on.
LA.
Go ahead.
Yes.
I was just say LA, there's about, 10,000 bands and 100 venues, and everybody's just scrambling. And pay to play, there's a bunch of pay to play.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's the same thing that happens out there, that there's a lot of pay to play, and what I can do for you in order to you get me into this opportunity. And it's nothing different that happens in other places.
Right.
It has happened. It's happened for years, right?
It's happening, yeah. The thing the things that we're talking here is not like, I know that there are going to be a lot of people that, oh God, don't tell me that. But it's not a secret. It's nothing that has not happened to anybody. Even as a writer, it's not nothing that has happened to anybody, or as a radio DJ, or as I don't know, anything that you can do in this entertainment industry. Things like this are always happening. They're nothing to be like surprised about.
No.
And there are even darker tales that we can go beyond, but that's not the thing. That's not
that's not the topic right now, right?
That's not the topic. It's not the place, and it's not the idea.
Right. I mean, I've always heard it's very tough no matter what. And I believe, I heard someone say, it's not that things in showbiz or in the business get easier. It's just that you just get better. You learn from what your mistakes are, and you learn from other people. For me, I've told these guys that anytime I talk to you, you've always given me a whole bunch of advice, because you've seen a lot of this. You've been doing a lot of this stuff since the 90s. And so I greatly appreciate all the advice you've given me.
Thank you very much.
Check this place out, talk to these people. Maybe you want to play with these bands, and that's smart. Not everybody's willing to do that for people.
The thing is that I always have seen the idea of trying to help others, and the things that you have like gone through in the way, the good things and even the bad things, I think that you have to give back. And I think that's a thing that few people are really willing to do it without getting nothing in return. Like, if I say something to anyone, I don't care there's something back for me.
Right.
Because I know that I'm helping. And also, if the thing is this, I also have to see the potential of things. If I see if I'm seeing that this band is really like serious about what they're doing, they have potential, they have the right frame of mind to listen to the people, then I go ahead, or someone else is going to go ahead and is going to help these people. But if I see that I'm talking to you and you're like, I don't get it, I just want to play it, then you can go and die as far as I'm concerned, you know?
Vitela, yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
you know,
basically, yeah.
if putting it
Yeah.
on nice words, no, you go and die, you know?
Nice.
That's the nicest way
That's
we
the
can put
nicest
that.
way I can put that, no?
Something like die, but a little.
Yeah, you know, rot.
You know,
I don't
like
know,
go
you know.
go get in a coma or something like
Yeah,
that. Nicer than
that's
death.
bad. No, that's too much. I think dying is enough.
It's faster, right? A coma is
Yeah.
a little lengthy sometimes, right?
Well,
yeah.
You know, it's interesting you say that because, you know, every once in a while, when I go out to these local shows and I see every once in a while I'll see a band that I really, really believe in, you know, and then I'll go to every one of their shows and I'll tell everybody about them, and it doesn't feel like it's forced, you know. It feels like,
Yes.
man, I want to be a
Organic.
part of it. I want to support them. I just love this band, you know.
Yes.
Right.
And I don't know. There's something really, you know, it's one thing for a band to make a great song, but
Yes.
you know, there's so many steps to success that have nothing to do with the band, right?
Of
It
course.
has to do with
yeah.
everybody.
Right.
Yeah, it has to do with everybody else out there that is willing to support them and what they're doing.
Yes.
So
If you
Sometimes
have
a lot of luck.
yeah, if you had a good support system with the band, and the band like willing to understand what this is all about,
mhm.
they can go farther as they want to.
Right.
If they want to do it because they can get the chicks, the money, and the excitement, well, in that case, you can do a lot of other things and not related with being on the stage, getting getting there in place of someone that has the real will of doing the things.
Right. My mom would always say, you know, with school, no vayas quitando el asiento a otra persona. You know what I mean?
Sí.
Somebody else has a spot. Don't take that spot from them if your heart's not in it, basically, you know, right? Like, if you're not willing to do the work, if you're not really into it, get out of the way, basically, you know?
But then you get the guys that get real lucky.
Yeah.
That awesome, the damn luck that I don't know where they get it or what they're leaking or what they're touching, but they have the biggest of luck in the world, and with
Like
the-
Billy Idol.
look, the talent at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because I have seen like these great musicians that they can be great guitar players or great bassists, but they don't give me nothing in return watching them being excelling in what they're doing, because they don't have the emotion.
Right.
And then you have guys with the rawest of talent, with just the basics, but you see the passion, you say, okay, this is where we can go. And sometimes there are sometimes there are people that maybe are not like that great, but are the most humble people around. So you're glad to, you know, do something with them. And there are
Right.
people that they can be amazing, but you say, okay, no, thank you very much, but let me go this other way. I think this way is a little bit happier, you know.
Well,
Right.
there's a saying, you know, that this applies more to, I think, you know, work and hiring people, but it's like, you know, when you're looking to hire somebody, you got to be they got to be one of three things. They either need to be really talented, they got to be really hardworking,
Yes.
or they got to be really good, really easy to get along with.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
One of
Sounds
those
like
three
I'm out.
categories.
Sometimes a combination of the categories is much better.
Have
Right.
you
Better.
have you heard the story of Billy Idol?
Well, I know that he was on a band, and then suddenly one day you're gonna be like, okay, now go and sing.
Well, there was that. Yeah, Generation. Yeah, he was in Generation X.
Generation X, yes.
But basically, his whole thing was all he ever did. He just hung around the punk scene in the late 70s. Like, that's how people knew him. He didn't, like, for the longest time. I'm fairly certain the story is he got signed and then he made the band. But like before that, people are just like, oh, this guy that hangs out with the Sex Pistols and the Clash and whoever else. It's just this guy that's always around. And they thought,
The Sex Pistols, If we really put attention into it, they were basically a boy band put
Yeah.
together. Just go and God bless you and do whatever you want. The only difference is that we're a little bit crass and
They were pissed.
they were
Yeah.
pissed in that 2 years and that's it.
And heroin, right? I
Yeah.
guess heroin was the
Yeah.
big deciding factor there.
Yeah, and yeah, they had fun, That's
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I could totally see Bieber being the next Sid Vicious.
Justin Bieber.
Oh,
He
he's
needs his
going.
Nancy.
Yeah, he's going there far. He's going far.
Yeah. That's super random.
Well, I was thinking the boy band, and I was like, all right,
Right.
put Bieber in the Sex Pistols.
Well,
Well-
I got to tell you, from my own experience, I feel like Tijuana is one of the coolest probably the coolest place I've ever played. And
It's
that's
very
Likewise. Likewise. Me too. Yeah.
that's talking. I mean, between San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, San Jose, Tijuana by far. I mean, we had just the time of our lives down there.
Yeah, the thing is that here, when people want to have fun, and they
Yeah.
want to see people that have fun in the stage, and again, if you come out to the stage and you're flashy and you are like giving it all, people are going to hey at the end, hey, can you get a picture with you? Hey, you're cool, you're everything. We appreciate here a lot of the majority of the bands that are like over here. I'm saying over in over like
wrestling.
very
Like
big
wrestling
arena,
over,
yes,
right? Yeah.
are bands that have energy.
Right.
Fans that can bring energy, can bring excitement, that you know that you're going to go and you're going to spend your well-earned money and you're going to be entertained, or it's a free show. You're going to spend your beers and and they're going to do a good effect on you when you're watching a band. Yeah, that's pretty much true here. Pretty much
Yeah, we
true here
noticed
that
that.
we love bands that give everything. Yes.
We noticed that. I mean, that's one of the biggest things that we try to bring when it comes to shows is we're not just there to play our songs. It's not a practice in front of people.
Yes.
We're there to entertain. We're there to bring a show. We're there to
Show
for
business.
whatever amount of time, right? Yeah, it's the show business. It's the jazz fingers, the whole deal.
Yes.
Headbanging, interacting with the crowd, or else why are we doing it? You know what I mean? That's the way
Yes.
I look at it.
If you enjoy
Yeah.
it, they will enjoy it. It's
Right.
a rule. It's an unwritten rule. If you enjoy it, what you're doing, and you're not giving the back at them, they're going to appreciate. And then and there have been bands like, wow, they're not like the most exciting band, but they have something that give to the people. And here they have bands with very big. The thing is, here in Tijuana is very very hard, and let me tell you something. Right now, it's very subtle as it was before. Before, they had been big bands that they weren't thrown off the stage. Even if they were big, they were throwing stuff at them, burning the hot dog cars and throwing at the stage and destroying the stage and go and get
Booing
off,
'em.
throwing the rocks, throwing the rocks at them.
Would the Chacal ever come out?
Like that.
Yeah.
Without
Afuera.
him,
Yeah.
without him, but that was
No, yeah.
something that was a staple of Tijuana. No, not all bands were like really accepted.
Right.
It took a while for some bands of the big names like to be really like here. It was very hard. If you the first time you're going to get a rock at your head. The second time they're going to okay, we accept you. Good enough. We're gonna make
Right.
slam with your music. And right now it's a little bit more quiet in that regard. It's a little better for bands.
I feel like we got really lucky because when I first started trying to get us to play in Tijuana, I got a lot of closed doors. This was 2 years ago. A lot of closed doors. Nobody. I would reach out to bands, try to network, and they're like, well, you could do it yourself. Figure it out yourself, you know, like
Yes,
don't ask to
I
do
get it.
shows, you know. And we got really lucky when we came across El Topo Records and started talking to Carlos El Topo.
Hmm.
Because he really took a chance. Like I always tell him, you know, you didn't have to take a chance with us because you didn't really know who we were. Our body of work spoke for who we were, but you don't know if that's going to translate to the stage show, and you don't know
Yes.
how the people are going to react to that. So
Yes.
for us, I'd say it was a lot of luck, a whole lot of luck, you know,
Yes.
to have a great experience. And we still talk about it to this day, that experiences that we had there have had a profound effect on us, and they've actually kickstarted a lot of what we're doing now. Like we started looking at this differently because of the experience we had in Tijuana in 2019.
The thing is with Carlos, we have not yet like work in that, but we have the same mentality. If we see if someone comes to us, we try to see like the potential, and then we begin like the work to see how we can blend it in the scene. And he goes, he talks with me, he sends emails to me, he sends emails to other people. We start to like do the talk, do the hey, here comes this band, I check it out, I recommend it to you. And he puts a lot of work in trusting the projects. And about what you saying about closed doors, I understand it. I understand it. Here there are here guys that really think too high of themselves, bands, managers, and do you remember the Festiarte in Otay, the Festiarte in Otay when Bank Data came here?
Yeah,
That was a very
Yeah.
what happened there was a very the controversy that happened days
I
when
remember.
that show was announced.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go deep on that because that's no. But only the thing I can say that really like true colors were shown there. It's the only thing that I'm going
Right.
to say. And what shocked me is that a lot of people that I used to respect got I don't respect them anymore. I don't want to do business, not business because I don't do money, but I don't want to. Well, it can be said like that. I don't want to do. I'm not going to do
Right.
business with them. In the same way, no, never in life, never. Uh,
Yeah, that was really sad.
I don't like
remember,
that. I don't like that.
I remember I was talking to Carlos closely because my wife works with him and with Topo Records
Yes.
as a liaison to get talent, you know, from
Okay, I
other
get that.
places. Ella trabaja en eso.
See,
And so we were looking at that and we were like, man, that's a really bad backlash. And, you know, to some extent we were like, oh God, I hope this doesn't change things, you know, but I mean, it is what it is.
They went as far as doing a Facebook profile
Right.
attacking Carlos with no sense, and that it didn't make sense.
No grounds. There was no grounds for
Yeah,
that. Right.
and thank God thank God it didn't go far. But
Right.
again, and this is the last time I'm talking about this here. I lost a lot of respect for some people, and I won't do business with some of them in the same way. I'm talking about getting them on my stuff.
Yeah.
They're done. They're dead.
Right.
No,
That was a shame.
Yeah,
it was a shame, but
yeah.
like I said, it is what it is.
Yes,
You're gonna get that.
It's gonna
You're
be
gonna get
happening, still
resistance.
happening. Yeah, it's gonna
Right.
be, and it's something that is gonna still be happening. Maybe not publicly, but in the inside,
Behind the scenes, right?
You
Behind
know,
the
look at
scenes.
this, he's doing this, and these people are doing this, because it's their own human nature, you know.
Right. Sometimes you fear what you don't know. You fear other things, like you said with like Mexico City, with feeling like there's fewer spots and you don't know what's going to happen, right? Everybody's kind of competing. A little competition is good, but I think, I don't know, you know what I mean? It's ugly.
It depends how ugly it gets.
Right.
It depends how ugly it gets, because if they like, I'm competing and I'm gonna beat you for a place in a way that I'm gonna show that I'm better than you, okay, I accept the defeat. But if I'm gonna do like putting my feet and driving you under the bus at every moment and everything, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth the time.
You know, for me, I've always been about that kind of competition. Like I've loved playing and you know, sharing the bill with other bands that put on a fantastic live show. because that makes me want to be better, right? And I think
Yes.
if they get the bigger
Like it should
reaction,
be.
it's because they earned it, right? They earned the
Yes.
reaction, and I'm going to strive to get that reaction next time. That's put it all on the stage. That's where it should be determined, you know?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Totally agree with that. Totally agree with
Right.
that.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I think I'm sure that'll be the same everywhere we go, right? If we go to Mexico
I don't
City,
think this is very
we're going to
strange.
encounter that too.
Human nature.
Right.
But the thing is that is why I told you yesterday, you know, check out these people. If they meet your criteria and they can help you and they're good to you, go ahead. If not, there's someone else that's going to be opening the door. That's one of the things that I was my idea when we were talking yesterday. Surround you with good people, surround you with a good environment, and surround you with a good help support. Because not that you don't be alone at the time that you are going to be there, because it's too hard. It's going to get hard, and you know, again, a good support group, it's for the better. It's going to allow you to try to develop the things that really matter inside the band. Remember, this is a relationship. Remember that this is a relationship, and there are things that are more important in those cases when you're going to new ground. The stability of the band. I am okay. My health, my head, everything, and going there and getting into these little issues one by one that they're drowning you is not fair. It's not good. It should not be happening. And that is why you know, right, these people try to check out this, try to see this, I don't know, these guys, this fanzine, this magazine, this station, everything that I can get, you know, because I understand that. I have been, look, inside the scene, I always have been more of an outsider, you know. I don't really click. In a personal way, yes, but in as a whole, I really don't. I leave everybody be what they want. I
Try
don't
to be
consider.
neutral.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't consider myself part of the metal people. I don't consider myself being part of the punk people or the pop people. I consider myself to being a little part of
Music
a little
people.
part of everything, everyone.
Yeah, the music people, right?
That's-
right.
Music people. I'm in the music scene. I'm not in the punk scene. I'm not in the metal scene. I'm in the music scene, the Tijuana music scene. So
That's the that's the best place to be. I feel.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
and that's why maybe that is why I have been like running for a long time. You know, not being into the politics, you know, of the politics of the scene.
Right.
Try not to, at least try not to start them.
Right.
You cannot be blind to them, but at least try not to start trouble, or try to not start something that you cannot gonna be able to have the balls to deal with it, you know.
Right.
That's what I would always. Yes.
I was just gonna say, sometimes it comes your way whether you like it or not, though, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right.
And that is why I think that is part of my. I always say, no, that God, I'm gonna live this sooner or later. I want to live this, but I cannot do it because
It's like The Godfather. They drag you back
yeah.
in, right?
Yeah, I'm dragged, and I'm dragged back in because there's not a lot of people that want like to take the chances of trying to do the work, you know. I'm not
Right.
saying that I'm a hard worker or putting myself over, but I think that being like constant and trying to deal with the stuff that's going everywhere, not a lot of people want to really like handle that thing. I don't want issues. I used to work with somebody that always like tried to evade the issues and go in front of me, go in front of me. And but it has been a good. I think it has been a nice run, if we can put it that way.
Definitely.
I have been able to do nearly everything that has to be done in the only thing that I have done is not produce a band, and I have not been like being in the PA system. But besides that, I think I have been at least trying to do everything.
That's
And
great. Yeah. I mean, you have a
know,
lot. I could say.
you have to learn. You have to learn. You
Yeah,
have to
the
learn.
hard
You
way.
like it or not, you have to learn.
I know from what I've read from your stuff, from what I've seen, you have a lot of journalistic integrity. You definitely put in the work. I remember seeing something you wrote up on us when I first saw your stuff, and I thought, man, where'd you even get that picture of us? I don't even have that picture of us. So you definitely put in the work, you know? I was like, man, you know?
Yeah, you know what I'm very careful with the idea of getting the information correct, because I've
Yeah.
seen what the big media does here in Mexico, and the big media, you know, they have the reporters and they have the thing, but they're like, just put that they're rockers and that's enough. And they
You
are
know, it's
cool.
funny. Yeah.
That's
We
enough.
got a write
And,
up before. Their name was wrong in the article. And everyone
and
were
we're
like,
talking
what
about a
the
big
hell, you know?
newspaper, you know.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to do, since I'm on a smaller scale, but since I'm into the music, well, at least try to be helpful, you know. Try to be, try to be the best that you can and give the information about these guys, you know.
Yeah.
And yes, that's one of the things that I have been trying to take care a lot. And that thing has, you know, and the thing with me that I say, nah, that's enough, and I started a new thing, start a new thing, start a new thing, start a new thing, and right now, you know, oh God, this is crazy. What I'm this thing that is happening, and
Right.
has allowed me to um develop stuff that I was not 2 years ago. I was not trying to do this. I had only my podcast and try to do here and there. But right now, I decided that if I'm going to take advantage of doing this project, and I think it has been a very good run right now.
Right, right.
Hey, it
Yeah.
brought me here, you know.
Right. Here we are, right? You know,
Yeah,
exactly.
this is the first
The
time that
reach.
the reach, you know, and I never had this reach before, and well, yeah, but not in the next, we can say, the next wave, you know, of reach.
Right.
And this is very very important, you know. Try to establish something into a new place. That is
Yeah.
good for me, you know.
Taking it, yeah, to a different market, definitely.
Yeah. Speaking of, let everyone know where they could find your work and what you're doing.
Okay.
Websites, YouTube.
Yes.
Before we run out of time here.
I'm going to start with a blog that is one of the most recent projects. It is a project that I have been working from a long time. I am trying to put it into a radio show, but something gets stuck. It's called Friday Night Border Crossing. It's at a blog at Tumblr, and basically for English speaking people, it's a lot of stuff that I have been writing about the music scene, about the story of the music scene. And you can go there, and there's a lot of articles that I have done about some of the people that are not here and that pass away, and some of the bands that have been featured in my other projects. And I think that's for starters. That's one. My current blog in Spanish, that is En Tijuana I Rock.
Yeah.
We have En Tijuana I Rock, the blog. There is a bit .ly/NTJ I Rock. Then we have En Tijuana I Rock Radio, that this Sunday ends season, the quarantine season, as I call it, like that. I think I'm going to be back with the podcast later. I don't know when, but I'm trying to see that. I'm also working in Tijuana Rock TV, that starts this Sunday on YouTube. In Tijuana I Rock, you can search it like that. There is a preview season of last year. There is also got in Tijuana I Rock Revista, the magazine.
Yeah.
And on the blog, there is all the links. There is the concert calendar that I'm doing in with astj.com, astj.com. I'm doing with them the concert calendar. We are updating right now the shows that have been canceled by the pandemic, the new rescheduling. We're working on getting that information. And there is there is a lot of stuff. Really,
It's
you
busy.
know?
It's busy, right?
Yeah.
Right
There
now
is-
we're working with Topo, both us. and
Yeah,
you.
I'm gonna be after this. I'm gonna be with Topo. I'm helping
Right.
him with the compilation. I
Toporama.
respect him a lot, and Toporama is a very good project because it has a lot of. It makes sense helping the musicians right now, and
Right.
it's a good cause. And you're gonna and people that get the recording is gonna be entertained by very good music. Very good artists are there. Very good friends are there, and people that are have not been on the upfront of the music scene in Mexico and in here in Mexico. People from Spain, people from Colombia and
Right.
US. Well, they're gonna have the opportunity of being showcased. And the good thing that we have with the internet is that the things that are happening, what Topo works, what I'm working, what others are working, is that they are available to everyone everywhere. That's a good thing.
Right.
That's a good thing, and that's that's one of the things that I'm happy about. And you know, you can. It's very cool having contact with artists from Spain, from Mexico, from Argentina, from all these US, all
Colombia,
these countries,
Ecuador,
Colombia, Ecuador.
Brazil. Yeah.
It's amazing, no? And the better thing is that some of them are very established bands in their country, and
Yeah.
they tell you, "Hey, can you please help me to get into your market?" Oh God, you say this is so cool because I don't expect me having that reach, and I don't
Yeah.
expect. I think like I don't think that high of me. So it's so cool. It's something that is amazing, amazing to be part of, and I'm really glad to be part of the scene, and I'm really part of being here with you tonight.
Oh,
Right
thank
It's
you.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Right on.
You know, with that, I believe we're actually two time now.
Yes.
So unfortunately, we're gonna have to go ahead and wrap up.
Yep.
But honestly, a pleasure having you on the show, and
Thank you very much.
we love
Absolutely.
talking to you.
I'm
Feel
looking forward to working with you.
yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. Absolutely. We
Let's
gotta talk
see.
wrestling sometime too, man. You know?
Yeah. Someday.
Someday. Yeah.
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 And just
I
want to
hope
thank
that-
our. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Just
no,
want to
yeah,
thank our audience out there for
yes.
watching. Also,
And
sorry.
also, yes, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks to everybody if you were watching this, and I hope that maybe next time we can do. You can be my guest. I
Oh,
hope
absolutely.
that we can
Absolutely. We would love
Please.
that.
do that.
Yeah.
We can do that, and let's see what happens. Thank you
Okay.
very much again. Good
All right,
night.
Jose,
Good night.
thank you.
Thank you too.
Good night, okay?
Thank you.
Adiós a todos. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.